Hello, Danger Noodles. I need to get rid of the Twitch chat. It's covering up the words. How is everyone doing? I'm here with a gay noodle and a fish with hands.
Okay. Said by the fish with hands as well. We're all fish with hands.
Alright, so the first group of the night is going straight into the evil category. Obscure.
Do we even need to read anything?
Well, we probably have to read the description for at least people knowing, because there's a bunch of group interest on the screen, so they know which one.
Well, yeah, I know, but I mean, any of the... Just go.
I mean, if we want to immediately a tier list, that's fine.
We could just read 3878.
Yeah. Alright. Obscure Corps. There's really not much to these guys beyond magic Nazis. They make for handy villains in World War II scenarios in African and European theaters. Wait, so it's only in theaters?
Oh my god, it's bright.
What?
In wartime, specific regions of conflict are called theaters.
Oh, I was thinking movie theaters and musical theaters.
Let's just remember, Bright doesn't understand a lot of terms that are older than her. Even basic ones. She probably doesn't even know what a Nickelodeon is.
A what?
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon? It's a channel on TV.
No. It used to be what they'd call movies because it would cost a nickel and you would go into the movie theater.
Friggin', how the hell do you get to this point in your life, having been a history buff at one point, and having never heard, say, discussion of America's involvement in the Pacific Theater in World War II?
They never
We
used
don't actually know what part of history she researched in college.
American history.
No.
Oh.
I was Greek and Roman.
Didn't you say that you, got really into American history?
I think I was probably the one who said something about American history.
Yeah, I said I was really into Greek and Roman. It's not like their mythology.
And my dad actually was an expert on the Wild West historian.
Yeah.
I think it was Jiri. You're confusing us too.
But wait, I could have sworn, right, that you at some point said that, you spent a lot of time studying U.S. history in high school.
Yeah, because I got I believe I talked about one U.S. history class I didn't like because I had to do it and had to stay hard in it, even though it was run by a very Republican teacher.
Right.
I'm going to comment
that
that studying American history is actually very complicated anyway.
Yeah.
Someone who specializes in American history could look into it their entire life and still not know as much as a historian as they are not specializing in any specific part of American history.
I mean, I know that, but we're talking the sort of terminology that I heard dozens upon dozens of times in high school.
To be fair, there's a lot of people who never hear the term Nickelodeon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, that feels like a very different thing because that's like a largely outdated term.
It's still
Or
a historical term. One of the things about
yeah,
learning, researching history is learning the old terms, like Nickelodeon, like a soda jerk, things
well,
like that.
well, yes, but we're not talking about historical language. We're talking about language right here, right now, that's still used in the present day,
Yeah.
like in our history books to describe these
Yeah,
things.
anyways, before we... Oh, sorry. Hmm?
I was going to say that is true, but in general, there's a lot of, most people do not use terms like calling the different countries involved in the war theaters, though
Yeah.
it is something people do.
Okay, so here's the thing. Before we go to the next, read just one SCP, and we were pretty much probably gonna guess where this fucker goes. Um, um, basically, uh, my that history teacher that I probably talked about a bit. They were, like I said, very Republican. They wouldn't teach us anything about uh I now that I think about it, they were also racist because they wouldn't teach us anything about historical moments like fuck, what was her name that sat in front of the bus?
Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks,
You
thank you.
know
Yeah.
what?
Or Martin Luther
Technically,
King.
if we want to be technical, technically someone did it before Rosa Parks,
Ah,
but she was helped by the same group Rosa Parks was in because she was too young and vulnerable. Rosa Parks was already an activist.
yeah. And another thing is he basically he said anti-quote that the shit we did in Vietnam, North Korea, and Iran was worth it because the people in there deserved to die.
I do you mean Iraq?
Iraq, yeah, sorry, not Iran, Iraq. Yeah, because they said the people in there deserved to die. That's what the teacher said, exact words. I was like, whoa, okay then.
Anyway,
Yeah. So, anyways, enough talking about shitty teachers. Let's go and read Friends and City.
That was 50 Shades of Racism.
Teachers are racist. I wasn't prepared for that. That was
I'm not sure
amazing.
why not. Let's move on to the groups of interest, the SCP.
Oh wow, this is very short.
well then, get to reading, SCP reading monkey.
The fuck
She's not a
you.
monkey, she's a tree bird.
Okay, okay. Get to reading, SCP reading bird.
Fuck you. Anyways, item SCP-3878, object class, Thamule. Special containment procedures. The procedures required to operate 3878 has been restricted to level 5 clearance and translated into the... Oh, fuck.
It translated into the oh fuck, I've never heard of it.
Fuck you. I just saw this word and I don't know how to say it.
Gimbiu.
Gimbu?
Either that or Gimbiu, I would
Alright,
guess.
gotcha. Into the Gimbu language. The decryption of the document will only occur within a majority asset of the O5 Council, or when a semantic fallout produced by 3878 fades, at which point in time 3878 should be activated again in order to ensure that the Gimbu language's cognitohazardous properties, and thus tactical utility, are retained. Knowledge of 3878 and the continuing existence of the Gimbu language and people is to be removed from public access, restricted level 4 personnel and above. Extremely sensitive messages should be first translated into Gimbu by an authorized speaker, designated as -A instance. and then translated back into the appropriate language by another -A instance. Both subjects should be anesthetized directly afterwards. Due to the difficulty of teaching the Gimbi language to subjects, -A instances should be exclusively drawn from the native Gimbi people. Description: SCP-3878 is a semantic weapon developed by the Obscura Corps in 1938. Oh no. Derived from the study of anomalous conceptual objects retrieved from the Thule Society's expeditions into the multiverse. It represented a significant deviation from the majority of semantic weapons at the time, in that it did not rely on a bulky and easy-to-detect physical component. Rather, it only used a single human who was subject to a 16-week psychological conditioning program. The conditioning program uses a strict regimen of psychotropic drugs, electroconvulsive therapy, and at the conclusion of the program, trepanation to create an extremely strong anti-concept within the subject's mind. When the subject is activated via exposure to a previously chosen trigger stimulus, the anti-concept interacts with that of the subject's native language and turns all instances of that language, whether written, recorded, or otherwise, into a lethal cognitive hazard that exclusively affects people who do not fluently speak the language. History: 3878's to date. Only activation was carried out by the Obscura Corps on the 2nd of July, 1939, as part of an effort to cut off secure Foundation communications channels. 17 years prior, an alliance between the Foundation and the Gimbi people had been formed for the sake of containment of the unrelated, now neutralized, SCP object during the 7th Occult War. The Foundation hired members of the Gimbi people to securely transmit tactical messages using codes developed from the Gimbi language. In an attempt to sabotage these channels, the Obscura Corps kidnapped a member of the Gimbi people from Site 43 at the Time Research Camp Q-Sling and subjected him to the procedure used in the development of 3878. He was then exposed to the trigger stimulus, resulting in the Gimbi language becoming a lethal cognitive hazard to non-native speakers. Soon after its activation, the Gimbi language was temporarily given the designation 3870, while scale containment was implemented and all agents fluent in Gimbi placed in containment. After several months of research into the anomaly and using the intelligence gathered by reconnaissance missions in the Pacific Theater, the Department of Analytics concluded that 3878 was in fact a result of the semantic weapon developed by the Obscura Corps, now designated 3878. And that this in fact increased the utility of Gimbi speakers as a tactical asset, since eavesdroppers trying to intercept their communications would be killed. Further intelligence obtained following the surrender of Germany indicates that the actual effect of 3078 deviated significantly from the original intent of the weapon. This can be attributed to the lack of rigor present in the Obscura Corps' linguistic investigations, mainly as a result of bias introduced by researchers attempting to prove the linguistic superiority of the Indo-European language family. The designation thus produced a fizzle in which a large amount of conceptual fallout was dispersed, but no actual conceptual destruction occurred. Had 3878 functioned as intended, the entire language would be erased from the consciousness of all its speakers. Following the breakup of the Obscura Corps, several copies of research notes used in the creation of 3878 were lost. Investigation as to the possibility that these notes were leaked to hostile groups of interest is ongoing.
Well, that's not terrifying at all.
Yeah. I wonder if there will be copies of the notes in the Wonders Library. Because it is anomalous, and the Wonders Library has information all things anomalous.
Mm.
That's just a theory.
Yeah.
A SCP theory.
Either way, I guess it's fitting that the one SCP from this group that pops up easily is an SCP that was originally intended to be used for genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just say lawful evil and move on.
Yeah.
So nothing. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot which one of these patients has Spirit Corpse. Hold on.
Which one looks the most Nazi?
Which one screams magic Nazi?
I'd say that my first thought would be that pentagram thing, or the pentagon thing there. That's like third from the right or left. That's my first guess.
I don't think so, because I think that's Pentagram.
Oh,
What's the name of the group again?
Hold on, I got it. Oh, it's this one right here. That's a Spirit Corpse. Symbol.
obscure.
Okay.
Oh, goddamn nosebleed.
Alright. So, I can get rid of that. Alright, next one. Pangloss. A cryptic but certainly old and optimistic figure who seeks to make the best of a situation by leaving notes of advice and encouragement, serves as a poetic aftertaste for simple anomalies. Wait, did we just get a really kind of not group after a really awful one?
Sounds like it.
These two should not be next to each other.
Except they should. Because alphabetical order.
Yeah. Alright, who wants to read 1612? It's, wow, extremely short.
I will.
Alright,
Item number SCP-1612, Object Class Safe. Special containment procedures. Life instances of 1612 are to be grown in Biosite 13 and Nursery. Is this a plant?
maybe.
Okay, let's keep going. In Nursery 18, the climate and soil in Nursery 18 are to be maintained in conditions typical of areas which instances are found, such as the alpine meadows of Mount Kazbek, Georgia. Instances of 1612 are to be watered several times a day. This is a plant.
Yes.
Personnel watering Nursery 18 are to wear overalls to prevent minor injuries caused by -1. All seeds not required to keep 1612 at viable population level are to be kept at Biosite 13 storage wing in biological secure lockers and secured in 4 Psi plastic envelopes. The seeds are to be maintained at a constant temperature of -18 Celsius. Mobile Task Force Pi 3, aka Zeus's Fire Brigade, are to locate contained instances of 1612 and transport them to Biosite 13. Description: 1612 is a previously unknown variation of glycine max, or soybean plant. Instances of 1612 continuously secrete volatile pyro. It's a fire soybean plant. Pyrophic oil from the central and peripheral zones of their apical meristems. So they're shooting fire oil out of where they pollinate.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's kind of like having a plant version of a fire dick.
The plant has chlamydia. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that.
Even better. This isn't just like it spewing out combustible materials. Pyrophoric materials are substances that ignite instantly upon exposure to oxygen. So
Why do
that
you
these
think
are
I said fire dick?
well, yeah.
I don't think Hatchet knew that.
Oh, sorry. I guess I didn't really explain well.
Mm.
That's actually very common for me. I'm sorry.
You're
Look,
fine. That is funny.
It's definitely not what I was expecting out of a soybean plant. Okay. The resultant flames, which is -1, oh, watch out for -1, makes more sense now, is generally small and well controlled, but intermittent flares have previously caused first-degree burns on nursery personnel. Most plants don't fire out of their private areas. The source of additional mass of 1612 uses it to produce the oil. The source of additional mass SCP 1612 uses to produce the oil is yet to be determined. You know what? If you have a pyrokinetic plant, that is something to take note of. Where are they getting the energy for this fire? I don't know. Experimentation has shown that -1 is extremely difficult to extinguish. Oxygen deprivation of below 3% by volume is required to prevent combustion of the secreted oil. Wood stops burning when oxygen content falls below 17%. Oh. It has been discovered that SCP-1612-1 is resistant to dousing. Oh, when 1612 is submerged in water, -1 will continue to burn for several seconds before cessation. Oh, geez. However, when SCP-1612 is reintroduced to standard conditions, -1 will reignite. Ah. Regular watering of 1612 has shown to produce a reduction in activity from -1. So water the plant regularly and it won't set you on fire. Got it. Sorry, less likely to set you on fire. 1612 was initially discovered near the base of Mount Kazbek, Georgia, at 42 by 40 north and 44 by 35 east. Since then, groves of SCP-1612 instances have been found in numerous locations on all 7 continents, with each grove containing between 20 and 100 instances. The largest grove has been found in the Great Rift Valley, Kenya, and in Indus River Basin. I do not know how much water those places typically get.
Mm.
I mean, Kenya is sub-Saharan Africa, if I remember correctly.
Ah, fuck, that means it's a desert.
Well, not quite desert, but getting there.
Sorry, I thought Sahara sort of
No,
it was a type of desert.
sub-Saharan.
Yeah, sub-Saharan.
Oh, sub-Saharan. Okay, then it gets rain. Okay.
Just very rare.
Oh, yeah.
Almost
Okay. I don't think that's a plant you want there then.
Yeah, it's
Why couldn't
Yeah,
it pop up in the wetter parts in Africa? It's an entire continent. What the hell am I saying? Just don't randomly pop up fire plants.
it's bordered by Somalia, Ethiopia, Uganda, and Tanz- Tanzania.
Addendum -1. The following note has been found with all discovered groves of 1612 instances. Don't let the fire die. Pangloss. Did they plant the pyromaniac plant?
Oh,
Maybe.
maybe? Well, it basically says right here that they leave notes of advice and encouragement. So it could be that they just found the plant.
Well, what's making the best of the situation when finding a plant that pees out fire, they leave the note, keep the fire going?
Maybe it's trying to. I don't know. Maybe trying to help the anomalies, not exactly the people.
Why don't we read another SCP?
Yeah. Hatchet, do you want to do 1522? Oh, this one's neutralized.
I already have it pulled up.
Okay. You got a dead one.
Yay. I love dead SCPs. Okay. SCP-1522, Object Class Neutralized. Special Containment Procedures. 1522-1 and 1522-2 were tracked and monitored by MTF Pi 2, aka Baldur's Pyre. That is a fucking wicked name. MTF Pi 2 vehicles consisted of 2 Hamilton class cutters and 1 national security cutter, SCPS-Minos, with associated aircraft. Civilian maritime traffic was directed away from the expected course of 1522-1 and 1522-2. When this was not possible, MTF Pi 2 ships were to fire flares in order to attract and lead 1522-1 and -2 into isolated ocean areas. Description: 1522 refers to 2 fishing trawlers, -1 and -2, each 39 meters in length. -1 and -2 were capable of speed surpassing that of their specifications. Prior to getting distracted by stuff around me. Prior to incident 1522-Rho, their highest observed speed was 120 knots. Controls on -1s and -2s bridges were capable of autonomous movement but were immovable by Foundation personnel. -1 and -2 were assumed to be sapient, usually responding to SCPS vessel signals to change course. Records indicate -1 and -2 when manufactured simultaneously in 1991 at the Parcol Marine Shipyard in Whitby, United Kingdom. After construction, -1 and -2 were kept in Whitby Harbor for several months due to financial complications before being sold to separate buyers. They served with their respective companies for 3 years before being decommissioned as a result of recurrent mechanical issues. No anomalous effects were present during this time. It is unclear whether -1 or -2 excuse me, actually underwent a decommissioning process. In May 1997, -1 and -2 were detected in a refurbished and repainted condition off the southern coast of Alaska. Foundation VBS operations found no crew aboard either ship. -1 and -2 were tracking a gray whale mother and calf using modified active sonar pings to mimic cetacean calls. -1 and -2 spent the majority of their time finding and engaging in play-like activity with various whale species. It's a pair of ships that play with whales.
Yep.
I love this.
That's definitely way nicer than the soy plant of fire.
The hulls of -1 and -2 regularly came into contact for prolonged periods while observing the animals. During a 7-month period spent in the Arctic, presumably searching for the bowhead whale, -2 collided with an iceberg. Part of the iceberg penetrated -2's outer hull, and it was unable to free itself. -1 spent several weeks towing -2 and the iceberg into warmer waters until the iceberg had melted. -2 remained afloat, but was not subsequently observed moving faster than 10 knots. Event log of 1522-row, or incident 1522-row, taking place 60 kilometers northwest of Ullapool, Scotland in mid-2011. Forward. The following log is a composite account of eyewitness reports and video feeds taken from the members of MTF Pi-2. 1522-1 and -2 were following a pod of minkle whales. 1151. -1 curves around the bow of that bow. Peppy, back off. Around the bow of that. Goodness sake. Bow of -2 before briefly accelerating to 80 knots, creating a large wave which splashes several minkle whales and causes SCP-2 to rock slightly. -2 comes up to the port side of -1 and sounds its foghorn. They turn together in a southwesterly direction. Both -1 and -2 come to a complete stop. No activity is registered from either ship for a period of 17 seconds. -1 then focuses its weather surveillance radar on -2 and sounds its foghorn 3 times in slow succession. SCPS Minos detects a RGM 84 harpoon inbound on a bearing of 3340. Vector indicates -2 as target. -2 sounds its foghorn 4 times and begins moving at 8 knots to touch its hull with that of -1. -1 and -2 collide gently. SCPS Minos detects a second RGM 84 harpoon on bearing of 340. -1 moves and turns to a bearing of 340. -1 then accelerates to Mach 4, resulting in large plumes of steam and the creation of a bow wave or bow wave of approximately 20 meters in height. -1 vanishes over the horizon in 23 seconds. Harpoon missiles hit -2's starboard side. -2's hull is ruptured and it begins to sink. All lights on Dash 2 go out. Dash 1 is seen returning from the direction it previously left. Dash 1's foghorn is continually blaring. Dash 1 tries to prevent Dash 2 from taking on water by moving to Dash 2's starboard side. As Dash 2 becomes completely submerged, numerous active sonar pings are detected originating from Dash 1. Dash 1 begins a series of complex, high-speed movements. Resultant subsurface wave patterns create multiple zones of high pressure below Dash 2 in apparent effort by Dash 1 to cause Dash 2 to resurface. Dash 2 is no longer visible from the surface. Dash 1 ceases all activity. An MH Dolphin helicopter is launched from SCPS Minos and approaches Dash 1 for monitoring. No change in activity is reported. Dash 1 lets out a sustained call from its foghorn. SCPS Minos sonar detects large rectangular masses detaching from Dash 1, later found to be parts of Dash 1's hull. Dash 1 is fully submerged within 10 minutes. Oh. Dash 1 and Dash 2 were to be raised and beached in preparation to be taken for salvage at Site 6. Svalbard. Weather conditions caused salvage operations to be delayed for several months, resulting in the decayed conditions seen above. The remains of a GOC ship of indeterminate class were discovered at 49 degrees 30 49 degrees by 30 north and 6 degrees by 09 west. No lifeboats were found.
Of course it was the fucking GOC.
Yeah. Addendum 1522-2. During the recovery and investigation of the vessel's two small, partially formed apparently non-anomalous rowing boats were recovered from within the hull of Dash 2. These vessels were extracted from Dash 2 and are currently stored in, I think that's in situ at Site 6, Svalbard. Dash 3, or Addendum Dash 3. Following the breaching of 1522-1 and Dash 2, an unclear humanoid figure was spotted near the wrecks. However, no such figure was detained. The note below was found on the bridges of Dash 1 and Dash 2. They were happy before the end. Not all ships have to pass in the night. Pangloss.
For some reason,
Aww.
that just pisses me off. I mean, the ships were adorable and they were nice. How
This,
they died sucks.
this is the
But the G.
oh, huh?
But. Huh?
I was gonna say this is a chair incident all over again.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? For a while, I was thinking maybe they just treated the chair like that as something innocent and brought joy. No. 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 Now, instead of thinking just the chair, I'll also think the boats. Thank you.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm actually sitting here reeling because I was almost brought to tears by a boat committing suicide.
I I almost feel like the two non-anomalous rowboats are kind of like their children, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Oh,
Aww.
didn't even think of that.
Well, now you know how I think.
Uh,
It's like the SCP Foundation is holding on to their children to keep the GOC from blowing them up. Why does my brain think this way?
I'm sad.
I am also sad.
This is why, whenever we see a GOC agent, we just, stab them in the dick.
Can't we just shoot them in the shoulder?
Why, is that more painful?
I feel like joints are very painful to attack.
Yeah. Anyways, are we good to...
That still doesn't say anything about how moral or immoral Pengloss is. They just leave notes. It told us the GOC is evil, but we already have them as evil.
Well,
Is Pengloss just a neutral force?
I think they are just
I
neutral.
think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that,
true
like,
neutral.
yeah, like, I mean, I, a part of me is like, what if we, like, maybe they should be put into, uh, oh, my brain just died. Into incompetent neutral, but at the same time, like, we don't know their motivations, so we can't really say they're incompetent at doing it.
yeah.
I don't
If
think they're incompetent, but I also don't
Yeah.
know what they're wanting to do besides the notes.
Yeah, so I guess we just gotta default to true neutral.
Yeah. And some might...
Also, yeah,
Oh? What was that?
I'm gonna grab myself a snack very quick because that really did make me slightly cry. Actually,
Yeah, and we got
Yeah.
art from one of my favorite SCP artists right here for Pangloss. Right here.
I didn't know my eyes that I would cry over fucking boats. Okay, I'll be right back.
Alright. Sweet. Oh, wait, what? I thought that deer that protects the door was a Saturn deer. But I just clicked what the deer is. It says not to be confused with the deer. That's what's in front of that door. The one you have to do the ritual for.
Yeah.
So Saturn deer is a different anomalous deer?
Yeah.
Oh, I actually thought it was that one. My bad.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, great. We have to do another United States department for anomalies. We already read one in the UIU. Oh, God. How bad is this one gonna be?
What happened?
I was saying this is the next one is gonna be another United States department for anomaly stuff. And we already read the UIU and how bad they were at their job, so let's see how bad they are at their
How
job.
many,
Huh?
how many fucking US departments do we need for anomalous shit?
Multiple. Obviously.
Oh, pentagram
Yeah.
might be a take on the Pentagon. Thus, military.
Yeah.
Military always does its own shit.
Yeah. Alright, Pentagram. The United States Department of Defense anomalous counterpart. They exist as a reflection and parody of the vicious and cold cruelty that the military-industrial complex is. Their related articles are inherently political in nature and often are at odds with the Foundation. Oh, this is just gonna get great! Are we gonna put another in the evil category?
Probably
No.
another for evil.
I don't know, Bright. Is the fucking the fucking military industrial complex but anomalous going to go in evil?
It even said they literally clash with the Foundation. A foundation that's trying to keep the world existing.
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting to immediately see an old guy stick his finger up. It just caught me off guard. I'm just checking to see if there's anything I have to open. Wait. Reclassification? Oh.
Oh.
Alright. I'll read this one. I just wanted to click all the links down. That way I don't have to do it later. Item 3874. Object Class Heater. Special Containment Procedures. Due to the SCP GOI 1970 Accord, an agreement between the SP Foundation and the United States Global Occult Coalition disallowing the Foundation to operate in nations which do not agree to the terms of the Secure, Contain, Protect initiative, in exchange for knowledge and information of localized anomalies. I feel like they break that. Sorry. Direct Foundation involvement in the containment of 3874 is impossible. The Foundation is instead monitor the activities of GOI 616 Pentagram, the occult branch of the Department of Defense, in relation to the anomaly and attempts to sabotage any known attempts to assassinate 3874. Oh my god, I read ahead. Oh my god. Description: 3874 is the former Prime Minister, 1959 to 1976, and President, 1976-2008, of Cuba, Fidel Alejandro Castro Ruz. This SCP is Fidel Castro?
Oh. Oh my god, is this just gonna be talking about how he's practically invincible? Like with all the assassination attempts?
Yes!
Oh my god, it is. I looked down slightly. This is amazing, actually.
Yes. This is gonna be one of my favorite SCPs now. Though the subject's anomalous properties remain largely unknown, it is currently believed that 3874 possesses one or more of the following anomalous properties: probability altering capabilities, clairvoyance, indestructibility, rapid regeneration properties, or pataphysical omniscience.
Omniscience.
Omniscience. 3874 has not demonstrated any of the affirmation anomalous properties in public, nor shows any signs of typical of Class B metahuman. However, the quantity of survived assassination attempts demonstrated by 3874 has been deemed most likely anomalous, according to linked pentagram documentation supplied by defector Matthew Shaw. Why do I feel like I know that name? Name sounds familiar for some reason. Anyways, sorry. The organization has made over 600 attempts. Prior to this documentation being supplied to the Foundation, only 52 attempts have been discovered to assassinate 3874 since 1963. The methods of attempts to assassinate the subject include both anomalous and mundane means. Intended methods include an exploding cigar, poisoned ice cream, contracting ex-Chicago Spirit members, and UIU persons of interest to participate in the Bay of Pigs invasion. Cognitohazardous diplomatic speech. Voodoo. Radioactive parapharmaceuticals. And an orbital disintegration beam.
I can't with this fandom sometimes.
It's perfect. Addendum 01. Upon discovery of 3874's anomalous properties in an assassination attempt in 1975, the Foundation began covert lobbying to support the Church's committee's investigations of abuse of the United States intelligence agencies by several departments of the state.
Yeah, they're not saying that he survived 600 attempts. They're saying he survived 600 attempts from Pentagram alone. Wasn't the 600 attempts thing like actually sourced from CIA documents?
Maybe. Also, welcome to the stream. This is by far the greatest SCP, one of the greatest SCPs I've read. Alright. Due to political... Huh?
Oh, okay. So,
Mhm.
in 2006, Fabian Escalante, there's no way I'm pronouncing that correctly, former chief of Cuba's intelligence, stated that there had been 634 assassination schemes or attempts against Fidel Castro.
Damn.
So I guess this would place 600 of those being done by Pentagram.
Due to political pressure from the Department of Defense, the Joint Committee instead focused investigations on the NSA. In response, the Foundation implemented Procedure 343 FB21, the Strong Arm, to plan to capture William Alton Carter, brother at the time POTUS James Jimmy Earl Carter Jr. Under the guise of a terrorist front organization, the Foundation issued the threat to the president, who signed Executive Order 1195. God damn it, 1195. In response, disallowing the United States government employees from engaging in political assassination. Addendum 2. Despite the signing of Executive Order 1195, Pentagram continued to undertake covert assassination attempts, most notably in 2000 when the group converted the recently captured Alain Gonzalez into a sleeper agent to assassinate 3874. This plan was discovered by Site 19's lead GOI researcher, Dr. Everwood, and Foundation intelligence agents were dispatched to administer amnestics to Gonzalez, removing all sleeper agent programming. Addendum 3. On June 3, 2001, the following correspondence was received from Pentagram's chairman and U.S. Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld. To whom it may concern, while the United States government understands and appreciates the service the SCPF provides to our great country and the world at large, we can no longer abide by your constant interference in national security. Even though the Berlin Wall and the Soviet Union have fallen, the threat of communism remains alive in our very front yard. A mere 90 miles from Florida lays a potential threat to the great liberties this country was founded on. This is a humble request that you cease to interference in our foreign relations. As per the rules outlined in the Secure Containment Protect Initiative, you are not to interfere in the politics of this country outside of extraordinary circumstances. Should you continue your acts against the needs of this country, we may need to reconsider the necessity of funding the SCPF and allowing the continued operation of your bases in U.S. soil. From what we understood, the GOC has a more sustainable plan for anomalies than you do. Yours, Donald Rumsfeld.
I agree with the Foundation and not the GOI and not this group.
Elian Gonzalez was in the news. He's in a made-up character. Yeah, so this is based. A lot of these are based on actual people.
Wait, then.
Also, let's just be real for a quick second. It is explicitly within the Foundation's parameters to foil attempted assassinations of SCP objects.
Yeah, their objective is secure, contain, protect, not murder.
Like just because no, the object in this case happens to be the late socialist leader Fidel Castro. That doesn't change the fact that the Foundation's mission is to contain and protect anomalies.
Yeah, they're not the GOI. They don't just chip everything down.
But yeah, I mean, it's not at all surprising that Pentagram considers itself more closely aligned with the fucking GOI. Who could have guessed it?
Yeah. I was looking up real quick while you were talking about to see if Matthew Shaw was a person. I couldn't find anything about him.
Yeah, I looked it up too. I have no information.
Further attempts at halting Pentagram assassination attempts on 3874 are to be carried out by third-party agents contracted through Foundation Fund companies.
Sorry.
Yeah, like, we didn't do it, they did.
This just makes me think of, like, a post I saw that was, like, I think in, what was it? It was in one of, the Click's D&D videos. Stands for Group of Interest. Were we accidentally saying GOI instead of GOC?
Probably.
Yeah. The Click's D&D videos where at one point it was like one of the memes where it's like the Drake meme where it's like saying no to one thing and then pointing at the good thing. And it was that, except it was local government hiring adventurers because they're better than their own guys is the bad thing, and then the good thing is town guards hiring adventurers to maintain plausible deniability. It's just made me think of that.
Alright. Addendum 4. On the 25th of November 2016, Cuban news outlets reported on the death of 3874, which was attributed to natural causes. Operation 90 Anos was launched shortly after with the goal of retrieving the cadaver of 3874 and bringing it to Facility 72 in Colombia. The equivalent of Foundation sites in South America. Due to the lack of anomalous guards or GOC operatives present at the morgue, Agent Lafreniere was able to successfully contain the cadaver of 3874 prior to cremation, substituting 3874's remains with those of D-1221s. Alright, I will. So they just threw some random fucker in the cremation.
Yes.
All right.
And this is the... Oh, god damn. This is the GOC, not the... Not...
Huh?
God damn. This is the GOC doing this.
No, this is the Foundation replacing the body. Yeah, because they weren't... The operatives weren't there.
You know what? I'm all for the Foundation, like, snatching the actual body, because I don't want the GOC to have it.
Yeah. Alright. Upon arrival at the
What's the
facility.
GOC? What's the other group too? They can buddy down in hell.
Oh my god. Anyways, upon arrival at Facility 72, an autopsy was conducted to identify any possible anomalous properties possessed by 3874. No results were found. Additional experiments yielded no results. The cause of death was additionally confirmed to be natural, and no involvement of pentagram was found in relation to the death of 3874. On January 1st, 2017, Agent Lafreniere, disguised as a new Venezuelan diplomat, was tasked with approaching Raul Castro, 3874's brother, and attempting to gather any information regarding 3874's anomalous properties. Addendum 5. Following an interview of Raul Castro, it was determined that 3874 did not at any point possess anomalous properties, though the Foundation's statisticians have questioned the possibility of a mundane human surviving and evading over 600 assassination attempts. The possibility is not anomalously more than 0, therefore rendering it possible. 3874's documentation is to be reclassified immediately. And yeah, here's the reclassification. Item 3874-EX, underclass neutralized, also explained. Special containment procedures NA. Description: 3874-EX is a former Prime Minister and President of Cuba, Fidel Alejandro Castro Ruz. Subject was believed to possess anomalous properties which facilitated its survival against assassination attempts, but these have since been found to be non-existent. The remains of 3074-EX have been discarded alongside the Facility 72 D-Class remains, so they don't even have it anymore!
Fuck you, Foundation.
Just stole it! Just tossed it aside!
Not even handing it back to the family like I'm sorry. Would it have been too awkward for the Foundation? Like, hey, we stole it from these thieves, but now we're giving it back because we looked at them.
or hell, like here's an idea. You know, you go to where the cremains are. You say, you take an active effort to like keep everything under wraps. If anyone like notices you, just just you just anesthetize them, and you just do the Indiana Jones meme. You just swap the ashes.
Yeah. Also, I just realized the Foundation could fuck with Pentagram because of the clone machine. They could just constantly bring him back. So if they did kill him, they could just clone him and bring him back.
You know what? It's probably a good thing they discarded his remains with the D-Class. No one can clone him, no one can fuck with it.
Listen. All in favor of the SCP Foundation creating an army of Castros to fuck over Pentagram, say aye. Aye. That sounds like... Oh, I don't even know what that sounds like. Something I'd expect to see in like a gag manga.
Yeah.
Alright. Who was the raid 4776?
How big is it?
Wait,
I don't think I'm up.
council vote summary. Nothing. Approved.
Also, give me a sec.
So yeah, who would like to read 4776?
I don't think I feel like reading right now. Give me a sec. Need a whole team of dead ends. The U.S. to go on Black Ops missions. You just make an army of former the varying flavors and success rates of communist leaders
Yeah.
just running around fucking up American shit. That'd be really funny. But yeah, give me a sec. Oh my god, just specifically grab socialist and clone socialist and communist leaders that the US could and just have them all fucking march up to Pentagram's door like surprise, motherfucker. Well, I'm thinking specifically like proper left wing folks. I don't think there's any I don't think there's any conceptualization of bin Laden or Saddam as having been particularly leftist. But I mean, we could if we wanna.
Bin Laden was not left in any sort of way.
Yeah. Unless we're gonna go by the right wing manner of deciding what's leftist, which is basically just I don't like it, therefore leftist.
No,
Even when they're like politically speaking effectively parallel, but they hate each other because they're not the right flavors. I mean, yeah, like literally as we speak, we have like elected officials referring to Iran as communist. Like these are just buzzwords to them. But yeah, Bright, check DMs.
DMs, what I see.
Okay, was just curious. Moving on.
So, yeah. So did someone say they wanted to read this one, or am I gonna read it?
Oh, I don't think either of us said we wanted to read it, so I guess you go ahead.
I guess I go ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. SCP-4776, Object Class Keter, Level 4/476, Classified. Special Containment Procedures. 4776. Positional data is printed on a small index card and stored within High Security Object Vault at Site 49. -1 is recorded in the Site 49 database and may not be accessed by any personnel with less than Level 4 clearance. MTF Gamma 5 red herrings are to be dispatched to any location suspected of having been damaged by 4776 attacks. Description: SCP-4776 is a paratechnological weapons satellite currently in low orbit Earth. 4776 exhibits anti-mimetic properties that prevent individuals from sustained knowledge of its exact positional data. 4776 is theorized to be a directed kinetic energy weapon deployed by the United States Department of Defense as part of the Strategic Defense Initiative, a project to form a missile defense system for the continental United States during the Cold War. -1 is a complex thaumaturgic rune used to used as a focus measure for 4776 orbital assaults. -1 can be formed from any material or materials and will, upon completion, result in 4776 arming itself for a bombardment. The process of firing 4776 takes approximately 10 minutes. From rune completion to confirmed strike. 4776 will release a targeted beam of photons, which, upon collision with -1, will result in an explosion. Discovery log. 4776 came to the Foundation's attention during a handoff of classified documents from Matthew Shaw, a defector from GOI 616 Pentagram. Yeah. Records indicated that 4776 had been created as part of Operation Ares Forge, a concerted effort for the United States government to develop sustainable occult-based weaponry for both army use and sale to foreign governments. Oh, come on. Though Ares Forge was recorded to have produced at least 57 working prototypes of such weaponry, currently only 4776 has come to the Foundation knowledge. Oh no. The 4776 dossier also references several package drops to Israeli military sites from 1985 to 1986 from a combination of U.S. Army financial reports and documents acquired by Matthew Shaw. It is currently believed that the United States government has been or is currently making sales of Aegean weapons to the Office of the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts through the Iranian government. Oh, come on! Why them?
This is just a menagerie of fucked up groups that they're selling anomalous weapons to.
Yeah, basically, that group is basically the Chaos Insurgency for Iran.
Yeah, it's just the Chaos Insurgency, but Muslim.
God damn it. Incident 4776.1 on January 12th, 1986, several incidents occurred at Site 49 and have been assigned the collective designation of Incident 4776-1. .1. At 1343, two UH-60 Black Hawk attack helicopters began an approach to Site 49. After confirming their U.S. government provisional veil clearance, they were allowed to land on the tarmac and refuel, claiming that their fuel tanks were damaged. They departed at 14:55. At 15:01, senior researcher Matthias stepped into the central courtyard for a smoke break. At 15:04, he re-entered the building and logged onto his workstation before downloading several files regarding information on the Foundation Informant Protection Program onto an external drive. While Matthias had the sufficient clearance for such an action, he was not assigned to any projects related to the FIPP. At 15:13, he checked out of the site and entered his vehicle before departing the parking lot. At 15:17, senior researcher Matthias' corpse was discovered at Site 49, Central Courtyard, with an unlit cigarette in his mouth and several locks of hair torn from his scalp. Site 49 was placed on lockdown for 3 hours, while site security attempted to locate the individual who checked out of the site under Matthias' identity. The individual cannot be located. Security footage in the courtyard was obscured by a large oak tree, and Matthias' car was discovered abandoned 2 miles away from the site. Okay, that's a dumb move, attacking the Foundation. So I'm going to say, like, the Foundation has better weapons than the United States government. That was a dumb move.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, Incident 4776.2 on January 14th, 1986, 2032. A gas explosion was reported at the home of Ishmael Thompson, formerly known as Matthew Shaw. Due to Thompson's connection to the Foundation Informant Protection Program, Foundation agents were dispatched to investigate. The building had been entirely destroyed, and upon prompting, several witnesses reported a shooting star minutes before the explosion. Addendum 4776.1 Email Exchange Pentagram/Foundation. Subject January 12th. Date January 15th, 1986. Dear Senior Agent Bishop, the Foundation would like to discuss the events of January 12th and January 13th of this year. Only a few days ago, shortly after your team's helicopters departed Site 489, a minor security breach occurred that resulted in a dead employee and information on your organization stolen by an unknown entity. Would the Pentagram happen to know anything about that? Regards, Tyler Campbell, Foundation Diplomatic Committee Representative. So, alright, Representative Campbell, the Department of Defense has no information involving such an event. If it even occurred, your site security failures are not our concern, and your lax protocols may have resulted in an information breach for us. Consider this a formal message that we do not know how one of your personnel managed to get himself killed and lose information about other organizations. Sincerely, Robert Bishop, Pentagram. Bullshit. Dear Senior Agent Bishop, that's truly a shame. The Foundation was deeply looking forward to maintaining good relations in the coming years, but it appears that the Pentagram is not so optimistic. In the world behind the veil, many things are binary, including loyalties. If you do not intend to obey the House Accord, the Foundation sees no reason to obey it either. We must look out for our own interest, but we will always have a seat at the negotiation table if you wish to talk. Regards, Tyler Campbell, Foundation Diplomatic Committee Representative. Representative Campbell, Pentagram is, first and foremost, loyal to the United States of America and our peoples. If your actions go against our prime directive, we simply cannot coexist. We will defend our homeland with a force that your organization cannot match. Bullshit. But we are not evil. We are not hostile. Bullshit! Pentagram will not be at the bringer of your downfall. Not until you make the decision to antagonize us. I urge you to consider your next actions very carefully. Sincerely, Robert Bishop, Pentagram.
The Foundation's thing is secure, contain, protect.
Motherfucker, you know how easy it would be for the Foundation to just destroy America? They just have to release.
Do that.
I know, but
look. Listen.
Yeah.
It's an American anomalous organization. Of course, it's going to come with an air of overconfidence and bravado.
Yeah, I was about to say how easy it would be to just destroy Pentagram. They could just easily infect one of them with 610. Done. Entire organization shut down.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do you always go to the least likely thing they would do?
I don't know. It was the only one I can think of at the time. There was another one which is a mimetic entity that's an image, and I don't remember its fucking number. But it apparently kills whoever who sees it.
What I would be thinking is the
Yeah.
Yeah. What I would be thinking is that one gun that, like, if someone commits suicide with it,
oh yeah,
everyone within the same organization will die.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
But no, like the thing that you bring up is an incredibly contagious disease.
Yeah, I
right.
wish.
Listen,
Yeah.
Listen, Bray. Barring extraordinary circumstances such as those depicted in 5000, the SCP Foundation is never going to use 610 as a weapon. Are you kidding me, bro?
Yeah, that would just be the Chaos Insurgency.
Basically, yeah. Like, why the hell would the SCP Foundation use 610 as a bioweapon and then almost certainly now have a second colony of 610 to manage? Even
Yeah,
more so, this colony, likely living in a notably more populated area of the world rather than in the middle of bumfuck nowhere Siberia.
yeah. I think my mind went to 610 because I was playing Resident Evil earlier.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, fair enough.
yeah. And then I'm for
Also,
huh?
but also, your suggestions hurt my brain.
I still can't remember that fucking image SCP where if you look at it, you'll die. I can't
I mean,
remember it.
I like. It sounds familiar. The only thing that's coming to mind though is the slow burn sloth,
Yeah,
which probably I doubt that's the same thing you're talking about.
yeah. Alright. Addendum 4776.2 Attached Documents. Foundation Diplomatic Committee Statement. Due to suspicious circumstances surrounding Instance 4776.2 and .3, the Foundation Diplomatic Committee has deemed it necessary to take retaliatory action against the government of the United States of America for its recent actions, which are in direct defiance of the House Accord. Oh my gosh, they're going to fight the government.
You know what? That's valid, SCP Foundation.
Clause 17, line I. Neither the government of the United States of America nor the SCP Foundation shall take hostile actions against the other. Hostile defined as an action taken without provocation in order to cause significant financial, collateral, or political damage. In line with the truce protocol, the Foundation has provided documents containing sensitive information regarding the United States government to several Middle Eastern publications. The committee remains open to cooperating with the United States government to reach a reasonable conclusion to this matter.
That is beautiful.
This is the equivalent of like the SCP Foundation posting a fucking a twit longer call out. Oh my god, this is a thing signed by Ronald fucking Reagan. um but yeah, like the SCP Foundation posted a call out thread.
Yeah.
And sent it to the
Yeah. Alright. Document received by the Foundation Diplomatic Committee on November 17th, 1986. In response to the SCP Foundation's leaking of classified government documents to a Middle Eastern news outlet, the Department of Defense is willing to negotiate towards ending this unpleasantry in the interest of fomenting a healthy working relationship. The United States government offers an opportunity for a peaceful resolution of the issue. The SCPF may decide the location of the diplomatic convention. Ronald Reagan.
I still don't understand this accent you put on with like 50% of the things you read.
I don't know what it is either. I just want to do a different voice. That's the only good one I got.
You have multiple good voices. Why do you use that one?
Well, the one I like.
That's different.
Like no shame. Like you do what you want, but like it just especially like when you're fucking reading a memo from Ronald goddamn Reagan.
I mainly give that voice to people I deem assholes.
I mean that's fair enough, but also like
Doesn't he
I
have an
think
actual voice historically that was different from that?
yes he does. But like ultimately I think a part of my frustration just comes from the fact that I don't know, maybe this is a me thing, but I have a touch of a difficulty understanding it. Like understanding you when you use that voice.
Oh.
I understand her fine. I just don't like it when she uses it.
I guess I won't use the voice again.
Well, like, you can still use it. Just
Ah.
maybe, like, use it, like, less frequently.
Got it.
Yeah, I think the frequency is why I don't like it.
There's like,
I used to
just,
feel very neutral on it, but then you kept using
yeah,
it and using the other voices less.
yeah,
Gotcha.
use variety. Use variety, ya fucker.
Alright. Alright. Notice from the Foundation Diplomatic Committee, memorandum from the Office of 0504. The Office of the Overseers has agreed on a diplomatic summit with the United States Government of Defense at Camp David on January 27th, 1987. Excerpt from audio transcript of SCPF-US Diplomatic Summit, January 27th, 1986. Audio log, date January 27th, 1987. Wait, why did I say 86 earlier? Damn it. Alright. Hello, Mr. Bishop. Evening. How are you feeling? We both know neither of us care. Let's get down to the brass tacks, yes. If you insist. Campbell and Bishop open their folders. Let's see here. It's not looking good for your people. Rob Pentagram's break-in at Site 49 may have error. There's no proof that was us. Do you really want to play this game with us? You've got no evidence, Campbell. That break-in could have been anyone. The gung-ho bastards over at the UN, the Ruskies, maybe even your own little splinter group. Okay, fine. Well, someone broke into Site 49 on the same day your team had to make an emergency stop for repairs, and immediately after, one of our researchers was killed and files on your group's activities were stolen. I fail to see how this involves us. Really?
I hate how this is very much like the American government. They're like, someone's like, all these things point to you doing it, and they're like, we're not involved. There's no
Yeah.
evidence.
We have a motherfucking Mount Kilimanjaro of circumstantial evidence, and they're like, nah, nah, we didn't do that.
Yeah. Well, naturally, we'd have to take retaliatory. Well, if I can do anal probing, I can do vaginal probing. Thank you for cheering. I appreciate it. FYI, while he did star in a bunch of cowboy movies, the acting gig Reagan was most recognized for him while alive, wearing television commercials for General Electric. Okay. Cool. But thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. I'm also not going to explain that sound alert.
What sound work?
It's where I missaid vaginal probing. I said vaginal probing.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Yeah, sure. I guess that's. You need a sound effect, might as well use a vaginal.
Anyways, well, naturally, for the current discussion, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, well, naturally, we would have to take retaliatory action against such a group, whomever that may be. Actually, did you say something?
No, I was just saying, fair enough too. Well,
Gotcha.
Great. Maybe I should say J-O.
And what does exactly would such retaliatory action entail? Something that would cripple their power at the global negotiation table. For example, imagine if the information was revealed that their leader was suffering from a degenerative brain disease. That could be twisted a great man. That wouldn't be the end of it, of course. Not by a long shot. What if the group's most dangerous enemies were to gain a significant advantage over them? Something like, say, in the form of leaked files demonstrating an extremely powerful, destructive artillery weapon that requires nothing more than a man's hand. Why would their enemies trust you? Well, you know what they say. Campbell idly traces a pattern onto the table with his finger. Bishop notices and hastily slides his chair back. Sharing is caring, comrade.
I am very
They-
glad the U.S. military didn't get one over on the Foundation.
I think they turned the communist symbol.
It just casually draws a handstick to antagonize this guy. I love that.
Oh my god. Document received by the Foundation to Plan Committee on January 27th, 1987. In regards to the summit at Camp David on the 27th of January 1987, in the interest of resolving the dispute aired at the diplomatic summit, the United States government offers to willingly remove Clause 14 and Clause 23 in the House Accord, which limit the SCP Foundation from performing military actions on United States soil. In exchange for this, the SCP Foundation will remove any military assets that may be stationed around Camp David, as well as any weaponry that may have a chance at targeting Camp David from orbit. Ronald Reagan. Notice from the Foundation Diplomatic Committee, January 27th, 1987. Council vote summary. No one voted.
But Bright.
Huh?
Bright.
Oh,
Right.
wait, I didn't see that. Never mind.
They all voted yes.
I wasn't
Did
paying
they
attention.
clap to nothing?
I thought abstain was no and nay was yay. I forgot abstain was a
Nay
thing.
means no, abstain means not voting.
I know.
Yes means yes. Yes means yes.
So this is actually probably the first time I've seen all the O5 say yes.
This was probably the first time I felt as if I need to explain basic graph structure to Bright.
Shut up.
Sorry, Aaron.
Anyways, status approved. Proposal accepted. We look forward to resuming a friendly working relationship.
This
So-
feels like this entire thing is government fucks with the SCP Foundation and realizes that's a bad idea.
They fuck around, they found out.
Yeah. So, are we good to tell, put where on the
Well, I mean, yeah, ultimately, no matter what, it was gonna be, like, lawful evil.
Yeah. Hey, it's right next to
Yeah, that's
I'm fine with that.
That's actually funny. Alright. Next one is an international group of interests from the French branch. Sapphire.
Oh. The Society
Oh.
of Atheists for the Protection from Perilous and Hindering Institutionalized Religions Everywhere. Come up with a better group name, you fucking pretentious pricks.
Oh, his... Wait, is that the... this one, yeah. Where do we put that fucker? We put them in lawful evil. Wait, they're also with the Nazis. Yeah, we put them in lawful evil. The
We looked at
circus...
Sapphire already?
I'm just checking because we do have time. Circus... I fucking forgot where we put the circus.
I think we
wait.
put the... I
Huh?
think we put them somewhere in evil. I just don't remember where. Oh yeah, neutral evil.
Neutral evil?
I think that...
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Herman
I
Fuller
think that-
circus, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, let's
There it
go and do the group. Anyway, Sapphire. The Society of Atheists for the Protection of the Perilous and Hindering Institutionalized Religions Everywhere is a group of militant atheists who seek to disprove both religion and anomalies with science, logic, and reason. Related novels are typically religion themed and are self-made or stolen from other organizations. So
It's just a group of Reddit atheists. Ugh.
So these people don't even believe SCPs exist.
They're like, we will disprove the anomalies, creates anomalies.
Oh god, I see we're getting close to the worst SCP group of interest. Really close. Oh, and of course the first SCP I click is a Keter. With a high disruption and risk class. Yeah, how long is it? It is... Holy shit, it's long.
I always see if we can find a shorter one.
Yeah.
Also noticed what looked like a picture of Carl Sagan there.
Yeah, and it is Carl
Yeah.
Sagan. 3880. Are you sure?
I get secondhand embarrassment when atheism is mentioned like this. As a former atheist, same. It brings me back to a time in my life that I'd rather pretend never happened.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a short because this is just written transcript of the video. Not video, audio.
Or audio logs, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, on the upside, there's audio logs. On the downside, they're probably French.
Yeah. So I'll have the words up. Anyways, I love the picture. It's just a picture of a YouTube video.
Cat DJ Chack stream in session shortly after event. Happen to not be an ass. Yeah, I mean that's valid, Sanju. Ultimately, there's like a notable difference between edgy asshole anti-theists and atheists.
Yeah. Also, can we just say, for this group, both SCPs we clicked so far have been Keters?
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that precedent.
Also, I would like to comment, as someone who is still an atheist, I don't like them. They're just assholes. Although I believe in anomalous things, I just don't believe in gods.
Oh wait, you know what would be kind of funny? If you just take Mr. Fish to this group of interests and say, like, hey, what do you think of this guy?
What if they kill him? Don't let them near Mr. Fish. He has nothing to do with them. He did no wrong.
That would be kind of funny. Anyways.
Okay, how about we just take these guys and lock them in a room with God?
Never got that notification. Cringe.
God would
Aw.
probably go hi.
Because what isn't there a friggin' oh I know.
Yes, God is in one of the places in the foundation because he feels like it.
Yeah.
They call it contained, but let's be honest, he has admitted he could leave at any time. He just likes being there.
Yeah.
Eh.
It's the equivalent of what's the best in comparison I can think of. It's the equivalent of like imagine if like the SCP Foundation got a hold of Superman.
Oh, yeah.
And they just the way that they contained him was just like give him a really bougie suite in a site and say like, hey, we'll give you just about everything. Please don't leave.
Yeah. Wait, I just
Yeah, I guess it's the same thing.
realized another SCP they could use against Pentagram because of their abilities could be useful. Joe Schmo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Anyways, on with this SCP. Item SCP-3880. Object class Keter / Uncontained. Special containment procedures. As the DJ check account cannot currently be removed, Foundation focus is on obfus- obfuscation.
Ob, 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 oh, now I
Obfuscation.
can't say it. Obfuscation. Yeah.
Obfuscation.
Oh God.
Obfuscation.
No one can say it.
Obfuscation.
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 My dyslexia is
Obfuscation.
transmitting on the both of you.
It's not transmitting.
Doesn't Jerry already have dyslexia?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyways,
What
Like,
the
I am
what-
transmitting on this older person who's had it for longer because they've existed longer. This thing that they've always had.
Be warned, Bright. I'm currently beaming my ADHD into your brain.
oh hi, Aderna.
They're doing it.
Anyways, I'm gonna continue. Of content via generation of streams with identical names and content. Person of interest dash 60413 DJ Chalk is under investigation at mid priority.
I just wanted to come in and say you were pretty much correct. I think the first time it's obfuscation.
Obfuscation. Oh.
Yeah, obfuscation. Bleh. I don't know why I can't say the F. No, no. It's literally like my and by the way, it's not. It's obfuscation, so it's like, yeah.
I just find it
There
funny.
we go. I got it right.
Yeah, I just find it funny the second I try to say the word, no one else can say it.
Well, the thing is, that's, well, like, for me, like, I have,
Right? I was
problems saying,
able to say it.
Ow.
yeah, I was able to say it too. I just have, like, long, like,
Yeah.
I've had issues, like, speaking for a
Gotcha.
bit, for, like, specifically, like, saying specific, like, using specific sounds and stuff
Gotcha.
are hard for me.
You know what? I'm very glad to add to my list of hidden details I have on Aaron to be the fact that apparently to Aaron, everyone as a term refers to when something only affects me and Aaron. As long as Aaron and Hatchet can't do the thing, that means everyone can't do the thing.
It's
Yes.
okay. Remember, she's only a chicken.
Fuck you. Anyways. Description.
Anyway, yeah, let's actually continue.
The description SCP-3880 is a phenomenon whereby a small percentage of people indoors during rainstorms will become convinced they are not hearing a storm, but instead are listening to the YouTube live stream Illest Rain Sounds, Infinity Hours No Looping, White Noise, Nature / Healing / Ambient, Meditation / Insomnia / Study, ASMR Original.
Yeah, that's a heck of a YouTube title.
Hosted by user DJ Chalk. People affected in this way will universally report feeling their mood lighten and having their creativity and energy rise for the course of the storm. While no compulsive effect is believed to be at play, the majority of people affected this way will secretly seek out the actual stream, reporting varying degrees of satisfaction with its content. The livestream has been running since YouTube Live service has opened to verified users in May 2013, and features the sound of rain and thunder streamed live, with occasional interjections from DJ Chalk himself. DJ Chalk regularly engages with live comments on the stream. See archive chat logs attached to DJ Chalk's file, person of interest 60413. Often speaking as if it is an original music livestream. Comments of theirs include brags about their use of original organic glyphs, and the fact that none of their storms are ever identical, leading to their most frequent comment, "Real life has got no repeats."
So was Bright cutting out a bunch there just on my end, or?
No. She was a robot for me too.
God damn it.
Dies.
Alright,
Did you anger leave and come back?
maybe. Anyways, where did I start getting cut off?
When they started often speaking as if it's an original music live stream. Down. You see right at the one? The one?
Oh, right here. Oh, right here. Okay. Right. Often speaking as if it's an original music livestream, comments of theirs include brags about their use of original organic glyphs, and at the fact that none of their storms are ever identical, leading to their most frequent comment, "Real life has got no repeats."
Yes. It is incredibly novel that rainstorms sound different.
Right. 3880 was first brought to Foundation's attention with Storm Desmond, an extratropical cyclone which saw record rainfall in many parts of Ireland, Scotland. Wait, Ireland, Scotland. Oh, I thought I said Ireland again. No.
Ireland, Scotland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden.
Norway and Sweden. DJ Shock reclaims responsibility for Storm Desmond, as they do many weather patterns, citing their status as a literal, actual storm guide. This claim is somewhat suspect, as DJ Shock has also claimed to be a demigod, the spirit of a rainforest, a sentient gust of wind, and the Rainbow Serpent. Following Storm Desmond, DJ Shock's regular viewership rose from 38 to a peak of 7,400. Shortly following this, DJ Shock bought a microphone to communicate with viewers. Previously, announcements had been made via a text-to-speech program. Transcripts are recommended due to the low quality of audio and the unclear nature of DJ Shock's speech. Oh, so it actually is intentionally meant to sound bad. Okay. Alright, you ready?
Let's hear that DJ.
Okay, and 3, 2, 1.
Hey, can you guys hear me? Can I get some comments? Yeah, great. Okay. It's your boy DJ Shock, no relation. Welcome all the newcomers. Looks like Storm Desmond's, really put me on the map, I guess. And we're now at 6,000 listeners, that's crazy. Now I'm thinking, right, thanks for our joke. So there's been a bit of hostility in chat, I guess. Many people don't really know the deal, and that's fine. But if you're asking me to replay something I've already played before, sorry, I only do live stuff because real life has got no repeats. There's something we say in chat, something we say. So if you want to listen to something old, I upload everything on SoundCloud, links in the description. Or a couple of chat members will host restreams with their favorite of my stuff. Ask them about that. Stick around here though, because this is where the party is. Alright, I'll get back out of your hair. Check out.
The livestream continued to gain popularity over the following year, with users citing good community spirit and the ability to request changes as strong reasons for regularly returning. DJ Shock began to interject more frequently, commonly during lulls in storm patterns or when switching between storm locations. The first concrete demonstration of DJ Shock's anomalous ability came when a stream regular shock through the heart requests they lessen the intensity of a storm in their area as their roof was beginning to leak. Live stream excerpt March 12, 2016. Alright. Playing in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's your boy DJ. Let me just kind of spin down a little. Sorry. Okay. Guys, putting down a little pattern there. Yeah. Get a drizzle going. There we go. Boy DJ Shock, no relation. Popping in to give you some great news. It's my birthday! That's right. Be here, December 9th, because we are going to have a party. And as part of a new annual tradition, I will be dropping my latest storm. Something that I've been bringing up for weeks now. That's right. Get hype, because we are going to have the thickest crashes, the whooshiest winds, the tinkliest rain on the glass. This is going to be better than Desmond, guys, and I know you guys love Desmond. Now, normally the Storm pre-streams are only available to Patreons, but as it's my birthday, it'll be totally free right here on the live stream. Oh, and speaking of Patreon, big thanks to the Warlocks down at the Unico Consortium, because they have hooked me up with some glyphs that'll let me make sample packs. We put them up on Splice, or they'll also be available immediately for all Patreon backers, Jade tier and up. And as a little taster, spoiler warning for the purists, the title of this one is going to be Storm Cali, as in Calypso. Yeah. DJ Chat, out.
Okay, so that wasn't March 12th, that was December 3rd, 2016. Got it.
Yeah. This is French.
Right, I forgot. At this point, it was decided that the stream should be shut down, and standard contacts within Alphabet Incorporated were activated to remove the account. This proved impossible, however, as all accounts associated with DJ Shock feature a strong crypto-archaic ward with various power sigils embedded within DJ Shock's user details. Investigation of the account revealed a private video featuring audio of activation words for said sigils. Attempts at cracking this ward by Foundation thaumaturgic assets proved fruitless. Shortly after Storm Cali, which killed 9, the Foundation elected to hire a 3 Portland's contractor to handle takedown of the live stream. Alright, live stream excerpt December 12th, 2016. Alright. Starting it in 3, 2, 1. What?
You're cutting out again.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Discord really needs to fix their shit.
Yeah, but they've needed to for years. Why will they now?
Right. Well, that's because you're listening on streams, aren't you? OBS isn't connected to Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways. And 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's it's Chuck. Hey. Got some good news and some bad news. I've got some bad news. It looks like the stream's gonna end, guys. Lunasa, who I thought was my friend, he's claiming he was in Black Rock when I was making Storm Desmond, that I used his storm clouds, which is bullshit, by the way. He's not even a storm god, he's a war god. He's associated with storms, but whatever. Can't put a copyright strike in a video, because I haven't put up a video, so he just reported my account. Well, yesterday YouTube tried to take down my account. They can't yet because I've got some protections from friends. But for their sake, so they don't get discovered, I'm gonna have to take it down before YouTube looks too deep into some code and figures them. You guys don't need to know this. When my account is getting suspended soon, like possibly today, tomorrow. He put so much strikes on SoundCloud, Bandcamp, Patreon. For some bullshit reasons, they were all gone through. This is the regulars. You guys know how to get through to me. But for everyone else, all the people who just joined today, the people who've been listening day in and day out, this is probably goodbye. That's weird to say. Maybe it's just from background noise from you guys, but this stream has meant a lot to me. Everything. I wasn't really creating before this. Something this shitty, depressive thing, and you guys helped me find myself again, find my voice. A lot of people in real life still make fun of my lip, but you guys are all just so nice when I talk. I'm not gonna go back to how I was before. I in bed all day till 2 a.m. I was missing lectures and I was missing friends, and it might not be the way you expect, but I'm gonna keep the rains coming for all of you. Maybe that doesn't sound great. Lots of people hate rain. How about this? I'll keep the flowers growing, the rivers flowing, the great winds blowing. All because I'm owing you the world. That works. Chalk out.
Its Chuck's identity remains unknown and anomalous abilities and is therefore still outside Foundation's containment standards. This article has not been reclassified. The proposal is ongoing to shift the article's focus to DJ Shock himself. Dr. Ryoko Sato, a Foundation employee who often listens to the live stream, now reports that during rainstorms, she feels as if she is sitting with a friend. Okay, at what point did this have anything to do with Sapphire?
No. It's really weird. It has literally nothing to do with Sapphire. I don't know why it's listed there.
It might have been changed. When was it recently changed? June 19th, 2024. It could have been changed before it was there. Okay, so it left no information for Sapphire. Oh my gosh, all three that are connected to Sapphire are Gators!
Exactly. That's the group of interest we're trying to get info on.
Yeah. I can't believe it. All three that are connected are fucking Gators.
I mean, it ultimately not that surprising.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, we actually get a fucking message from Sapphire this time. Alright. Just want to see how long it is. Okay, so that's super long. Oh, most of it's just really short messages. Does someone else want to read this? Because I ain't read a bunch.
Okay.
Huh?
My head's not in the best state for me.
I read.
Oh, and the goal of the stream is to rate the group of interests, as you can see here.
Yeah, this is a series of streams that we've been doing for a while.
Yeah.
I read.
Alright. Whenever you're ready, Jerry.
Item SCP-3859, Object Class Keter, Special Containment. While its use has diminished following 2015 active Instances are still present in the European continent. Efforts to disable the technological components of 3859 without harming their hosts are ongoing. Anti-parasitic drugs have been introduced into the water supplies in France and surrounding nations to combat the SCP. Further, new EU regulations lobbied for by several foundation companies have increased the food safety standards for several mass-produced items used in religious ceremonies, such as your crust, your cherished, your cherished wafers. What? I'm gonna look up what the hell that is.
Wait, what?
Wait,
Eucharist.
wait, so is this gonna be an SCP
Yes.
where Sapphire just put a parasite in a bunch of religious food?
Oh, it's sacramental bread communion wafers. Okay. I hope they did not infect communion wafers. Oh my gosh. Foundation personnel who believe they have been infected are to be given a cocktail of anti-parasitic and anti-viral drugs to combat them. Full details of this cocktail can be accessed by medical personnel. Description: SCP-3859 refers to a microscopic parasite infected with an organic interface virus, a viral organism which is a biological manifestation of a computer virus, allowing transmission by skin to computer contact, resulting in nanotechnological augmentations. 3859 appears to be the same genus as Old World hookworm, but are hermaphroditic as opposed to
Dioecious. Dioecious, probably.
dioecious.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you pronounce it.
It's probably. It might be wrong, but that's what I'm.
Okay, well, let's go with it. Dioecious just means there's two or more sexes. Hermaphroditic means, well, everything's in one place. A characteristic not observed among hookworms. Furthermore, it appears to have been hybridized with tardigrade DNA sometime in the last 200 generations. The 3859 appears to have been engineered specifically to infest humans with artificial components in their bodies and destroy them using nanotechnological components. I think we should put this group under evil. While hookworms are parasitic, they are not actively aggressive and do not normally leave the digestive tract, suggesting technological components of the SCP are modifying their behavior. Examples of destruction caused by 3859 include erosion of artificial hip joints to the point of destruction. Also, fun fact, most artificial joints have metals in them that will literally melt your brain if they're eroded.
Gods.
So I'm saying that the first thing is literally accidentally including melting people's brains, right?
Damn.
It's one of the reasons why I'll never get an artificial knee joint. Besides the fact that it'll always be too expensive, I don't want my brain to melt.
Right.
Several pacemaker wires with scissor-like appendages originating from their nanotechnological components. So they're also basically destroying people's artificial hearts too. causing sensations of intense pain in an experimental prosthetic hand, torturing the disabled just because, okay, destroying mounts for experimental bionic limbs, consuming and regurgitating metal fillings in teeth. I think chaotic evil is a good label for this group. Causing cochlear implants to overheat and explode. Those
It's
are hearing
cochlear.
and huh?
It's cochlear.
Cochlear.
See you
I
later,
guess that's
Cox.
just a
Sorry.
right. Me being surprised because it's just another different way to pronounce CH. And it's probably due to like where it's made or what words used for it or where those words originate. And Bright's just like cock giggle. Yeah, fucking like a little kid still somehow as an adult woman. So cochlear implants, for those who do not know, are hearing implants. So that's another probably instant death sort of thing. Most of these things seem to just be killing people.
I mean, yeah.
Melting piercings. Well, at least melting piercing will I'll probably kill you because I'll be molten metal on the flesh. Okay. These behaviors are only present when 3859 infests an individual that actively identifies as.
It's religious or spiritual. You got cut off, Jerry.
I didn't get cut off. I paused because I'm once again thinking this group is literally just evil.
Yeah.
Due to the behavior of and conditions necessary for 3859's anomalous properties to manifest, 3859's effects are particularly
Deleterious. Deleterious.
What?
But
Deleterious?
Yeah, deleterious. Yep.
The fuck does that even mean? Deleterious.
It basically means what? What? What were you saying, Bright?
Oh, I was reading the chat, sorry. I was silently reading chat. My bad.
No, you're good. It basically means that it's like, it's like harmful to them or something. I don't remember. Here, I'll just
Okay,
look it up so I
okay.
get the. Yeah, actually no, it literally is just harmful. So yeah, it's causing harm or damage. So I was right, correctly. I was absolutely right with my.
Oh god,
Okay.
I see who it is. Oh no.
So it's
See who what is.
especially harmful to members of Church of the Broken God. You know, the group that helped the Foundation take help handle 610 a bit easier and put it under control. That group that may not always be smart but is trying its best to do good.
Yeah.
I feel like trying to take down a group that successfully helped the Foundation like beat down 610 a little is probably a very bad. Well, I did say it was evil. Never mind. What the hell am I saying? Over 80% of mechanists have been at least minor
Mechanites.
Yeah, it's mechanites.
Yeah, it's mechanites.
Mechanites, sorry.
Yeah.
Over 80% of mechanites have been at least minor. Have at least. Oh yeah, that's true. The Church of the Broken God totally goes for mechanization.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were also called mechanites.
Yeah, it's because the god they worship is McCain, which.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know one SCP I haven't read in a while, but really like. He ended up, the Foundation led him to Church of the Broken God due to him being from a different reality where people got stuck, basically got placed in artificial suits that their bodies were permanently stuck in.
Mhm.
And he survived the rest of his life peacefully and happily as an active member of Church of the Broken God, doing good and making other members very happy. That made my heart very happy.
Yeah.
This does not make my heart happy. Over 80% of the mechanites have at least minor augmentations such as fingers which are capable of turning 360 degrees of fiber optic scalp hair. 5% of members, including Max Wellis Living Saints and Cogsworks Orthodox, legates possess near full body augmentations. Somehow, failures which are specific to members of the Church of the Broken God have included spontaneous combustions of replacement pineal glands, gears grinding causing explosive failure, permanent network disconnection, failure of internal or external combustion engines, simulation. Bright freaking like moving before I can even figure out what I'm reading.
Sorry.
Discharge of all integrated weapons. All at once, let's just say that. Simultaneous. Spontaneous welding of body parts. Vocal augmentation such as voice modifiers playing propaganda messages in French.
They played messages for Sapphire.
Just when I thought the group couldn't get worse, we just read what they specifically pointed at, specifically the Church of the Broken God. Okay, let me just. I'm sorry, I keep getting reeled by what assholes they are. 3859. Huh?
I was saying, yeah.
Okay. 3859 was first discovered in 2011 after Cogsworth Orthodoxy ritual in Paris, France was sabotaged by the by the introduction of 3859 to holy oil used in the ceremony. Failure occurred over the course of several minutes, during which time all members and attendants died. Sorted technological malfunctions caused by 3859 resulted in over 50,000 euros in damage to the building where ceremony was being held. Oh, jeezums. Oh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Since 20, well, that's also a lot of death. Not sure why my eyes went to the money before the death. I think that's my American brain. Just like, oh, geez, all the things you could do with that money, and it's gone. You cannot say we have not been shoved with corpses too many times. They try to get us too used to it.
Yeah.
Since 2011, 3859 has been involved in over 40 attacks against Church of the Broken God. Leave them the fuck alone! Resulting in deaths of all affected individuals. As of 2015, it is believed that there are less than 20 practicing mechanites present in France, a decline of at least 90%. Addendum.
So that's like literally a religious genocide.
Yeah, so Sapphire's committed religious genocide. Why am I not surprised?
Well, I guess we shouldn't be surprised if 610 suddenly has a surgence in France. I'm not joking. Remember, they're one of the reasons why the Foundation knows how to do anything besides, like, stall it a little. So, even if they're not always the smartest, they have done good, and they are actually an important group.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. This can't get worse, right? Okay, transcript of propaganda. Following an attack in Lyon, a Maxwellist was able to survive long enough for the Foundation to conduct an interview despite 3859 infestation. While able to communicate in writing relatively unimpeded, their vocal processors transmitted a looping message in French at high volume until the subject's expiration from the destruction of their artificial pineal gland. You are nothing but an engine powered by ignorance. Forsake your superstition, your god of metal. They literally believe in the god of intelligence
And free will.
and free will. Yeah. You're literally telling them to stop believing in.
Yeah.
Oh god, I hate this group. Okay, let me just. I know I've said that a few times already, but okay. We have created the antivirus for your technological blight, the firewall to cleanse Europe of your influence. You were nothing but a flaw in history, and we shall cut you out. Viva la Russian. I'm not going to continue reading that. That's just.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Jerry got cut out for a few words. We're just not believing in the god of intelligence and free will.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Just,
I heard him say that actually.
Oh, well, for me, it got cut out.
okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me. You literally just scrolled past instead of letting me reread it.
Oh, sorry.
What part did I cut off at?
Oh, no,
It was
ba-
you saying a side comment.
yeah, it was a
Yeah,
side
it was-
comment.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. The side comment of how angry I was at them.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah, it
created
was.
the
hmm
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
we have created the antivirus for your technological blight, the firewall to cleanse Europe of your influence. You are nothing but on history. We shall cut you out. And I'm not going to say the rest because it's just them being assholes.
Viva la rationalité. Viva la atheisme.
Yeah. So yeah. No. This
Basically,
entirely.
long live rationality, long live atheism. You know, the group about believing in rationality.
As we all know, the most rational thing to do is commit genocide, apparently. That was sarcastic. I just realized that could easily be taken out of context. That was sarcastic.
Oh no, we all know you were being sarcastic.
I
I'm
know.
just
That's the
angry
sort of thing
because
we're
they were.
glitching.
I'm just angry at this group because they're literally acting like murderous psychopaths against a group that's all about rationality and free will, and they're saying long live rationality and atheism.
Mhm.
It's a group that literally helps people who are missing body parts. They help people figure out their new life if they've been infected with some sort of like supernatural mechanization process. They've helped a number of people. I mean, they're not the best group, they're not the smartest, but they try their best. And they just use the most ironic wording for wiping out, genociding this group, and it upsets me so much. The wording upsets me. Them doing it upsets me. How they do it upsets me. I just hate them. You know, Bright, maybe you should take over reading this.
What, me?
The more I read it, the angrier I get. Do you just want to hear me rant as I read?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, recovered documents. In late 2015, French parasitologist. What the hell is a parasitologist? Oh,
Yeah,
they
they.
study parasites?
Yeah.
Okay, French parasitologist Frederic Lacroix
LaCroix.
was Lacroix. Okay, you know what is French?
Frederic LaCroix.
Frederic Lacroix. Okay, was checked into a hospital after their pacemaker failed. Several instances of 3859 were found in their system, having consumed most of their pacemaker because totally the Viva la wonderful thing to do is murder doctors that help people figure out parasites. Because several instances of 3859 were found in their system, having consumed most of the pacemaker. This was treated as an unusual case as LaCroix was an outspoken atheist and had previously been arrested following an altercation with a priest in their hometown of Orleans. LaCroix died within 3 days as attempts to keep his heart functioning were met with resistance by 3859 instances. I am guessing it's because, despite him being atheist, he was still spiritual. So the doctor that helps people had to die.
Hypothesizing.
I know, I'm just angry.
Oh, you're good.
And
You're
it
good.
makes it harder for me to pronounce things.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, deep breath. Hypothesizing a connection between LaCroix's research and SCP-3859. 2 Foundation recovery teams were dispatched to recover their research. While LaCroix's Paris lab has had no relevant data, their home in Orleans contained several suspect documents. The task force retrieving the data was met with resistance. An excerpt from the after-action report of Agent Catherine Dubois. I know how to
Dubois.
pronounce this.
Dubois.
I know how to pronounce
Dubois.
it, but
Ouais.
You got it.
Dubois is included below describing the incident. Our cover story was that we were national police officers and we were investigating the circumstances of LaCroix's death. His widow let us in and, well, I do not know what that word is.
Persuade. It's a name.
Oh, it's probably French. Persuade kept her occupied. We scoured his house. I am so bad with French. In his room, we discovered a large book entitled The Holy Bible with commentaries by C.I. Scofield and a guide to Bible study. This stood far out because I've heard LaCroix was virtually atheist, so why would he keep a Bible? We took it off the shelf and rattled it around. It seemed to be at least partially hollow. I opened the book and dumped its contents onto the desk, and it burst into flames. Must have been booby-trapped, but we got out the documents and other materials unscathed. Some of the pages were intact. I think Colette has them. We took one look at the pages and knew we had to return to base. However, Upon reaching the front door, we met a group claiming to also be members of the National Police. Colette saw through it right away. They had ruggers at their side. National Police use SIG pros and reserve ruggers for difficult situations. We ran out the back and commandeered a vehicle. The so-called National Police were behind us, sirens blaring. They started shooting. Yet that's not what National Police start doing. And it's about that time I realized they were using anomalous weaponry. The ruggers were firing rounds too big for barrel, and they never reloaded them. And their car teleported in front of us to try to cut us off. We'd prepared for this eventually. The Jewelers Mobile Task Force Omega 5 had a detachment within the city, and we raised them on our comms. They confirmed that the tactics and technology they were using were often used by Rubis agents. Recovery use
Velocity.
okay, and inhalation of singularities. The fuck? If not for them, we'd probably be, as Americans say, street pizza by now. They disabled their vehicle using pulse weaponry, and we managed to get to the safe house in Paris. LaCroix is now known to be a member of Sapphire and had a key. Oh, so he was a bad guy who turned against the group, realizing it was bad, and they killed him.
Maybe?
He developed the thing.
Yes, he developed it.
He might have like accidentally like since it's like a virus, he might have like
Injected it with
gotten
himself.
it. He
And
might have gotten it like on
I don't
accident.
think he would have gotten it by accident, since
It only affects religious and spiritual people.
Mhm.
yeah, that means for it to actually activate in him, someone who's not religious or spiritual had it activated in him. So I think he turned.
Oh my gosh, I see a head.
A head?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of head, and oh my god.
It had a key role in developing 3859. A document recovered from their estate is below. Sapphire, Nostrum Solemn Pavate. Goddamn,
Okay. I can read this.
Okay. Do your best asshole voice.
A brief manifesto against the mechanite superstition and how to topple it by Southon Cut.
A rank within the Sapphire indicating a specialist in a particular discipline.
Rubus Fenbridge. In the 21st century, there is one superstition above all else that presents a danger to the rational world. The so-called Mechanites are a rare religious organization which not only worships entities that it claims causes singularities.
Right? Okay. Sapphire nomenclature for anomalous items and phenomena. Okay.
But actively utilizes them, albeit in a subtle manner. To the untrained eye, they look human, but their hearts beat to the tune of clockwork. Their breath is the humming of a computer fan, and their muscles bulge with carbon fibers, the likes of which we can only hope to develop. Some of them even go so far as to
replace their pineal glands, an organ often associated with this superstitious world. They have legates and living saints which possess weaponized singularities, laser weaponry, kinetic cannons, ceramatic blades, which can cut through bone like butter. They are in active danger. If they revealed themselves, they could take over the world, turn into a global theocracy, united under the flag of their clockwork god. Because of the fact that they actively alter their body as a sacrament, they are nearly impossible to deprogram using our pamphlets. Anyone willing to mutilate themselves for their faith is nearly unshakable. It is from this faith that we derive their doom. In October 2010, a mechanite was found and disassembled by Rubis agents for study. Among their body was a particular singularity which is commonly used among our infiltration agents, an organic interface of virus created from nanotechnology. They have been engineered so that they are only responsive to those who are strong mechanite faith. Though we have been able to get them to work with a Christian as well. The primary purpose of this virus appears to have been to avoid the rejection of the inorganic components by the organic ones. However, they are still computers, and flipping some zeros and ones to the correct positions can instead promote rejection, forcibly if need be. However, the virus is reluctant to interact with the human body, even one that is mutilated as heavily as a mechanite's. It was engineered specifically for the one we disassembled, a flaw which was rectified by Spiral M. LaCroix. Referring to the spiral cut of gemstones, a rank within Sapphire, which denotes the individual is capable of creating anomalous items. LaCroix. M. LaCroix discovered that their intestines were still organic and infused with hookworms, who were also infected. From this original generation, M. LaCroix has created a new species, Ankylostoma named after a man who smashed technology they viewed as evil.
So they named
Exact-
it after a backwards thinker. That's fitting.
Yeah.
Exact blueprints can be viewed in the attached document. Document was not present upon recovery. A heavily burned paper believed to be the original document was recovered in the remains of LaCroix's Bible. But even a single organism can produce enough interference to destroy a mechanite's body within minutes. Efforts will be primarily focused on destroying mechanite influence in France. From here, we will expand to Germany, Italy, and Greece. By the end of 2015, we expect to eliminate any mechanite influence on the continent.
Are they accidentally pro 610?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another Sapphire document later.
I just want to say I hate them. I know everyone here knows that, but I hate this group. Hatchet read wonderfully. I still hate the group.
Yeah.
Addendum. Further Sapphire activity. Since LaCroix's death, 6 other known Sapphire agents have died as a result of 3859 infestation, specifically due to 3859 causing metal tooth fillings to explode, resulting in fatal brain hemorrhaging. Yeah, not just infecting the people that you are like maniacally going after like psychopaths. You ableist piles of. Okay, let me just. Chatter within Sapphire began speculating that LaCroix had intentionally programmed 3859 to turn on Sapphire agents after a set amount of time to further the agenda of the Church of the Broken God. No evidence of this has been found to suggest that LaCroix was not loyal to Sapphire. I have a thought.
Yeah.
They might be. A lot of Sapphire agents might be ex Christians, the ones that say they're not Christians, but still have very religious beliefs rooted into them to the point where they get fanatical about something else in a way that's basically religious. So they're
I
still
mean-
religious, but
This is-
not God believers. They're
I mean-
yeah.
That's the root of most anti-theism. So
Mm.
I think that's why it
Stripes.
infects them. I didn't realize it until after what you read and what I just read. It makes sense. They're all probably fucked by their own doing. And I'm there first watching every Sapphire member. Never mind. Let's just keep going. 3859 stopped being actively utilized by Sapphire by December 2015 by the following communique being released to agents. Emergency. Oh, sorry. Do you want to read that?
yeah,
Emergency notification. Effective immediately, all LaCroix hookworms in possession of Sapphire are to be destroyed and the program is to be discontinued. They're acting indiscriminately, affecting atheists and superstitious alike. 20 have died from infestation, including LaCroix. Their programming has not changed. They are doing the preposterous, interpreting our atheists. Interpreting our atheism as religion. We have no faith so fervent as to trigger them to do this.
Yeah, you do. Sorry.
LaCroix was a traitor and a mechanist. His rank is stripped and his name will be wiped from our history.
Nostrum Asulam Pavate. Pavia.
Man, that was so religious of him.
Yeah.
I think he just proved my theory
Yes.
prior
I mean,
to
this
the
entire article. This entire article is very clearly intended to criticize anti-theism. So
At least
Good crack.
we're getting a lot of information on how shitty Sapphire is.
well,
Yeah, and I will say it also clearly shows atheists that know how to act normal but are not Sapphire freaks, and also like religious people who also act normal. And it's just the anti-theist, like crazy people who are the crazy people assholes. And I'm gonna ride with that. I mean, there are other people who are assholes, but in this case, it's all Sapphire. Just all Sapphire.
Yeah.
Prior to the release of this communique, Sapphire also released a heavily censored and altered account of an electronic journal belonging to LaCroix. The Foundation was aware of this document, but was unable to access it due to the complex cipher utilized by Sapphire. Following the defection of a Rubis agent, the Foundation was able to decipher the original text. Several relevant portions of the document have been recorded below. January 9th, 2011, using research from from that person regarding the crucifix protein, a protein chain allegedly present in the brains of individuals who are strongly religious, proposed by Peter Croshaw in 1957, is now regarded as a pseudoscience by the larger scientific community. They're following pseudoscience. You know what? I'm not even surprised.
What the fuck is this?
They're following pseudoscience because they are so anti-theist.
Yeah.
I've modified my children. They should only become agitated in the presence of this compound, and from that they produce destruction.
But the
That's
thing
why
is,
it's so ineffective.
the thing is, oh my god. So this thing is just literally
It's
like,
a destructive weapon based on pseudoscience.
Yeah.
well, like also like believing in pseudoscience is pretty much a religious belief, anyways. So like, that technically already counts for that too.
Honestly, it probably affects people who are disabled or who are part of the Church of the Broken God the most, because those are, since it most goes after people with artificial implants.
Yeah, like for example, like uh LaCroix had a pacemaker
Yeah.
because, and that was probably
I,
because he needed it or something.
I
Like,
think how it happened was when they were developing the weapon, they used the corpse of someone who was partially mechanized to develop their their new tapeworm. And so, while they were convinced it would go after the religious, it was instead something that they accidentally programmed to go after people who had artificial pieces of their body because they're fucking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm just
This. Yeah, when the more you read about this, the more I'm thinking of, I forgot that fucker's name, where I think he got killed because he created one of the viruses in Resident Evil, and it just ended up killing him.
Well, January 20th, Lee Moore brought up an interesting point in the meeting. What if the mechanite in question has had their brain entirely replaced? Would they still be effective? All mechanites were at one point human, and from this humanity they had organic parts. Cut off a zealot's arm and their blood still carries crucifix proteins. If they have a single organic molecule in them, my children will feast on it.
what
I
the
hate them.
this is the weirdest fucking way to, oh my god.
Well, it just proves more that they're actually secretly religious.
Yeah.
They
February,
are,
yeah,
because like
February,
they believe them to not be human.
February 14th, the holiday literally built on multiple saints
Uh-huh.
who were all basically grouped to stand as one saint because it's easier to tell people to celebrate that way. St. Valentine's Day, and with that, communion. I had a compatriot of the clergy at a local church taint some communion wine as a test run. There's one congregation who has a pacemaker, and if it fails, it works as proof of concept.
My god.
I'm sure you can tell my mood. February 25th, he was found dead, his pacemaker overloaded. Police are saying that was caused by faulty microwave. The hookworms were not even mentioned in the coroner's report. I feel sorry for the man's family, but they are better off without an abusive. The fuck?
Wow. You know what's kind of bad right now?
What?
I have a dog in my house right now, the Husky. Their
Yeah.
name is Sapphire.
Sapphire the dog is fine. It's not the group.
It's just that whenever I'm gonna say Sapphire's name, I'm just gonna think.
Just remember, the dog is not a cut of Sapphire. So the way they word that's just to me that the person with the family, the dad, and possibly granddad, was a totally fine person, but they were considered abusive because they were religious. Because there's lots of people who are religious and bad, but they were one of the good ones. Okay. July 8th. Now for the actual test. An Orthodox gathering of the Mechanites has had worms put in their oil. Hopefully, the hybrid DNA will keep them from drowning. July 9th. Explosions were on the news. They covered it up as a gas leak. Nothing to be alarmed about, but I was there at the scene. They were carrying out tangled mess of metal that was once a man, and all the weapons discharging. We can do this. Perhaps the next edition of the Granite can include the weapons capabilities. October 12th, 2012. Word out of Nova Scotia. One of their colleagues overseas has died. His teeth exploded. Signs of my hookworms in his system. He was assigned to be the aide of the Cardinal. Most likely, he started developing the faith. He will not be missed.
It's Nova Scotia, by the way.
Okay. Nova Scotia. April 20th, 2013. An interesting occurrence. Several of the Maxwellists, those who think the world would be better off if everyone was in Blade Runner, committed suicide in the middle of a ceremony after exposure to my worms. Apparently, the worms somehow disabled their internet connection and kept disabling it every time they tried to replace it. They would rather die than go without Wi-Fi. That's not how it works. Such irrational minds should not be allowed to have such technology. Are you fucking Yes, you are.
It might be that the internet was like technology was inside their head, like they can.
Well, they said Maxwellists. That's a type of that's an offshoot of the Broken God Church. They were probably talking about people who had mechanized brains.
Yeah.
So they would have literally required it to live. They're literally basically being ableist piles of shit.
Yep.
That's why I keep getting angry, because they're so ableist. They're so ableist. June 17th, reports indicate that all mechanites within central France have gone extinct. French elements remain in Paris, but several sects have fled the country, if not been completely wiped out, and they remain clueless, thinking that is the work of the flesh. Fuck you. May 4th, 2014, 10 people who have worked on this project with me died. They all had my hookworms in their system and had recently been in contact with mechanites. I'm sure that testing will show that they had been hacked. An oversight on my part, unfortunately. We did reclaim this technology, and as such, it's conceivable that they could manipulate it. I'll have M. Ludd update the software. May 5th, 2014. No change to the software, probably reset after the hack was complete. Oh, were we able to have nanotechnology expert Mr. Wright's company? Were we to have nanotechnology expert M. Wright's company was gunned down by the Chicago Spectre?
I actually looked up. That's the group of interest Chicago Spirit.
Spectre is spirit.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that because it's a different group of interest. That's why I went to click the link.
March 17th, 2015. Vomited all day. Containment failed on my project. I got hookworms in my system. It's of little consequences. They will do nothing without the presence of the crucifix protein. It doesn't exist! What am I saying? I'll take some anti-parasitics and keep around the lab. It should kill them off. March 15th. Making the worms hermaphroditic was a mistake. They're reproducing quicker than the drugs can kill them off. Going to the hospital after doing some tests on myself. I am not ashamed of clapping for that. March 20th, infestation has been called. Feeling much better. Going repair containment in my laboratory and get back to work in a few days. He doesn't live. March 23rd. My heart skipped several beats today. I fell on the floor. My pacemaker is going bad. Low battery. Going to the hospital tomorrow. I found something alarming in my blood. I was doing an analysis of sample I took while I still had worms in my system, and I found them feeding on something that shouldn't be present. Crucifix proteins. I have been poisoned. I'm going to die. That literally doesn't exist. March 25th. The doctor says there's nothing wrong with my blood other than the parasites, and my pacemaker wires have been severed. I may have a week left. I feel as if I'm committing treason while writing this. I tested samples I keep in my lab for emergency transfusions. All of our blood has crucifix proteins. It's occurring naturally. We have failed. It's not a crucifix protein, it's just a fucking protein. Why am I trying to. We have failed. In our quest to make the world a reasonable place, we have made it a crusade. Sapphire is a cult. Atheism is religion. God help us. Well, at least he realized he was a fucking idiot before he died. Atheism isn't a religion, but anti-theism is.
So we pretty much know where this fucker's going, right?
Yep, evil. It's okay.
Chaotic evil.
Yeah, we could also put it in incompetent, but like, chaotic
It's
fits.
competent. They're fully competent.
I would say they're competently incompetent, but
Ending with God help us is beautiful.
Just
Yeah.
because I feel like they are competent because while they do believe they're doing good, their version of doing good is mass genocide.
I don't know. I said
So
Ending with God help us is beautiful. That's true.
Yeah.
does anyone else also think chaotic evil?
yeah, I agree. I was just
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, do they have like a strict moral code?
Probably not.
it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
Their only moral code is you have to be non-religious and you can't believe in anything spiritual, but you have to believe in the things that we believe.
It's not necessarily a moral code, more like a
Their belief in pseudosciences or whatever else that will help them make an us versus them.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm good with chaotic evil.
Now the real question is, are they worse than any of the others we have in chaotic evil? So I'm not sure if I should move it forward or just place it next to Greaseburger.
I'd say just put it in Greaseburger and call it.
I think they're all equally. No, they're more evil than Greaseburger. All the other ones are equal with, but Greaseburger they're worse than.
Yeah, I knew they were not going to be worse than the Children of Scarlet King or Circuit Colts, because holy shit. They're worse.
Well, they're in good company, I guess.
I suppose like the fundamental thing that makes them not as bad as those two is just being smaller.
Yeah.
Like the Davites and Circuit Cult, or not the Davites. They were unlawful evil.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said
Circuit Cults.
Children of the Scarlet King and Circuit Colts.
Did you put fifthism in chaotic evil? What is fifthism again?
The people who believe in 5. Like, everything's 5, I think. Mark Hartley. which is
Have
an
we covered
incompetent
them?
evil. They're at the front.
Oh, are they at the front?
Yeah. Oh, I can't.
Oh,
Mouse is not even showing on screen, and I'm just waving the mouse. I mean,
Well,
like on
it's showing
screen.
on the yeah, it's showing on like
Discord.
the Discord stream.
Yeah, I forgot it's not showing on fucking Twitch streams. I'm just shaking it, trying to show one for Twitch stream, and it's not even there.
It's kind
So,
of funny.
are we gonna continue for the night or?
Now, I think that'll be fine. We're getting really close to the end. Look, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can probably finish this tier list, like, next week.
Yeah.
Because this week I have
Right.
day shift tomorrow. So we can't go any later. But, next
So,
week, which means next
Sapphire was our
Friday.
last one.
Yeah, Sapphire's the last one. Yeah, next Friday, because I got night shifts Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So yeah, next Friday,
Okay,
we
so
can finish
then-
this.
Then content farms will be on Monday, and then this will be on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Physical spiritual group being used by being outside of me. Right, that's right. Yeah. The cosmic starfish that uses lots of pneumatic weapons. Right. Yeah. And I think. Yeah. So we put them in incompetent evil because they're being used unwittingly by something evil.
Yeah. Alright. So yeah.
Which is ironic because it's almost the exact opposite of why we put Children of the Broken God in incompetent good, because they're trying to do good, but the good thing that they're trying to do is in direct opposition to the actual will of their gods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking of
the Church of Broken God. Yeah.
yeah, speaking of God, one of the groups of interest is not going to be put with people tier because they are one of the most evil beings in all of the SCP universe.
Well, we're obviously, I mean, if you're referring to the Scarlet King, we're obviously not putting a single
Yeah.
being in the people group. The
Yeah.
point of the people group is we can't rate this because it's just a group of beings,
Yeah.
or people,
have-
like a people group. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
how else do I put this?
A group of beings of people who have varying moralities.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Okay, where did you rate Wondertainment? Where did we put Wondertainment?
I'll check in a second, but I know Scarlet King's going to go on the top of whatever evil category we put it in.
I dare
Oh,
say
it's
we're gonna need.
It's gonna be
I'm-
chaotic evil.
I was gonna say we should just make a Scarlet King tier and call it good.
Oh yeah,
my
no,
God.
definitely.
Like
Definitely put it at
nothing
the
else
bottom,
is
the
properly.
very bottom.
Yeah, like nothing else is properly comparable for the Scarlet King. He's just the concept of evil.
And especially one of the things he rules over and is also called the King
Yes.
of.
Yes, right. We know.
I don't know the great JL knows. Let's just say it's a specific R word of an action. I'm not going to say it because it's against Trish T. West. Anyways.
Well, technically you can say it, which is just hypocritical and stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, chaotic neutral. That's where Wondertainment is.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking we put it, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Wondertainment's in chaotic neutral, along with Are We Cool Yet?
So I do know that next week when we do, I guess, create that tier,
Warning. Do not follow the great Dr. Bright on
I mean,
Twitch.
honestly, do we even need
Worst
to actually
mistake
cover it all?
imaginable.
Everyone
I
here
repeat,
knows what the
Do
Scarlet
not
King's all
follow
about.
the great Dr.
We could
Bright
just tier
on
that
Twitch.
right now if we want to.
Yeah,
at the
let's
same
just do that
time we
right now.
can, but I still want to like read it as part of the video because not everyone on the internet knows the Scarlet King.
Yeah, obviously, like
Yeah.
we can do that.
Are we cool?
I think Wondertainment is good aligned. Are we cool yet as chaotic evil? I think the reason we put them in chaotic neutral is because of just like the sheer diversity in like intents in Are We Cool Yet? Like people from
mean-
Are We Cool Yet
Yeah.
range from wanting to make the world a better place to wanting to kill people.
Yeah. And as for Dr. Entertainment, like, yeah, like they're trying to make toys for children and whatnot, but some of them are very dangerous.
And the main reason why I think I wanted to put it in like I feel like basically the good that Wondertainment like reaches towards is also counterbalanced by non-consensually altering the bodies of people.
Yeah.
they just outright violate people's bodily autonomy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of which one was the hardest one we had to try and place.
One of the shared properties of all exhibits is that they're lethal. If I remember correctly, like specifically it was because like some of those exhibits weren't intended at the beginning to be lethal, or they were intended to be lethal for very specific and largely bad things. But I also don't remember. It's been so long since we
Yeah.
covered them. They were like,
Wait, which one are you talking about?
are we cool yet?
Yeah.
Like that's in the A's. It's been a very long while
Oh,
since we
yeah.
covered
I
them.
think. Which one was the hardest we did?
Where did we put Are We Cool Yet?
Chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
I
Probably
think.
the hardest we did was probably the first one we the first one we put in the incompetence probably.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, because we literally created the incompetent tiers.
Oh yeah, it was probably the
because-
church broken God. I think another one that we struggled with was I think both the factory and Herman's Fuller Circus, because I think we were trying to discuss which part of evil would be. Because the stories differ between how the circus and the factory is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was the hardest we had to do.
Gamers Against
Where did
long,
you
but-
put it? Where did you put it?
We put both of those in neutral evil.
That's fair.
Mhm.
That kind of like puts them in between, so it's like
Philip, the origin of Gamers Against Weed talks about what cool.
I think we did read like all the ones on the main Cruciventress guide. We did go to their hubs, so we did see their origins.
Like, trying to think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, that is like the perspective of Gamers Against Weed. If I remember correct, actually, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, if I remember correctly, the main reason why we leaned toward making them chaotic neutral is because like I think we read like a big long string of like chat posts and like it just showing the sheer diversity of like varying, shall we say, ethical views within it. They're all they're all hipsters
We
with
put
varying
Gamer Against Weed and chaotic good. I think they're talking.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm talking about Are We
Oh.
Cool Yet?
Oh, sorry. Never mind. My bad. When I heard chat logs, I was like messages. I immediately think of Gamers Against Weed because that's basically how they communicate.
Gamers Against Weed is like chaotic good because it like they work with they work with like other organizations, if I
Yeah, like
remember
they-
correctly, that are
we put them-
lawful good.
It wasn't specifically lawful good. It was because they have a history of working with liberation movements. The
Yeah,
Cool
that's-
War.
Mm.
Maybe at some point we should just go back and like reevaluate these. Like at the end, just take like a brief once over to like double check our older positionings.
We can. That can be like a stream within itself where we recheck all the groups
Yeah.
of interest.
Just like go back through and double check that we're holding these positions.
Oh, I know another one that was actually the hardest, even worse than Church Broken God, the Black Queen, because it had very little information at the very start.
That one was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Where did you put it?
We put in chaotic neutral
Yeah.
because they were a bit chaotic and we couldn't find anything that would push them towards evil or good.
See, I also recommend checking out the Cool War.
Where do you put Shark Punching Center? Incompetent evil.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna put stream ending now. So I want to go to bed. So, yeah, I'm not gonna read out tonight. I'm too tired, especially from the heat, because it was 125 degrees Fahrenheit today. With
I
the
haven't
storm.
really been focusing to this entire talk about what is harder than what because I've had to pee the entire time, and my slow brain basically pushes me to only be able to focus on so many things at a time. So my brain is literally focused on I need to pee. That's it.
Stream ending. So yeah, we can definitely reevaluate some of them. Some of them I don't think we have to reevaluate, like probably the SCP Foundation, because I don't think we're really going to change that one, or some of the incompetence.
Oh, you know, the
Yeah,
incompetents are probably like not gonna change.
Yeah, like I think it probably would be good to just go back and like basically go over information that we probably missed going through because like what JL suggested looking at is
the Cool War.
Yeah, the Cool War, and I just pulled it up and yeah, it's like a big list of other documents. So like I think that's the thing. Like a part of the limit to this is the fact that like we tend to take very like if it's a really big group, we tend to take very small chunks of information because we don't want to read like we don't want to spend an entire stream on a single group, basically.
Yeah.
Then there's also some groups with very little information, like the Black Queen.
Yeah, like in that case, we read everything and we're just sitting there with our thumbs up our asses asking where the fuck are we supposed to put
The
this?
Black Queen, was that the group with the reality benders?
It was, I think, a singular reality bender that we spent like
Yeah.
I believe almost 2 hours on.
Yeah, like we read the two documents what they were mentioned. Both documents had them in passing mentions. We have like vague ideas as to their affiliations, but otherwise they're just like an enigma.
Yeah, I think one of the only major information we got from them is that they have a slight association with the Serpent's Hand.
Yeah.
I was probably thinking of a different group. There's been a lot of groups.
Oh yeah, and there's gonna be a shit ton more. So I literally have to look through, because there are a bunch that we will get no information from, because they don't have an SCP linked to them, whatever, or some that are just the MTF. That's just gonna go with the Foundation. There's no point discussing that. I have to look through almost 1,000 and choose which we should do, which we should not. That's gonna take me so long. Luckily, we got the internationals to do before we have to do those. Oh my god. I have to look through so many. Guide the ring. Okay, I guess we can raid them, that's fine. I'm tired. Hi, Chew. Okay. But anyways, Derna, do you have any last words for stream? Too tired. Same. But I'm pretty sure I'm more tired than you.
Oh my gods. Well, yeah, of course you're more tired, Miss. Fuck. Narcolepsy. There we go.
Yeah. I have reason to be like the stream. Narcolepsy for the win.
Oh my gods.
Yeah, might as well. We're
Oh.
gonna do because they do guide the raid Whiskey Dingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be kind.
Okay, so my my last words are bright as a catbird.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh yeah, I might as well explain why to the great JLY is Danger Noddle instead of Danger Noodle.
Yep, because you misspelled it.
Yeah, my dyslexia made me misspell noodle and put Danger Noddle, and then there was an entire poll and how my fans are called Danger Noddles instead of Danger Noodles. That impression. Look, I don't care. I'm too tired to care. Anyways, Jerry, last words go.
I need to pee.
Go use the restroom then.
Yeah, go use the restroom, Jerry.
Well, those are my last words.
Then go. I believe in you. Yeah, I love your last words. Yeah. Anyways, handshake last words go.
My head hurts severely.
Oh my god.
That is all.
Okay. Alright. Anyways, Danger Noodles, we are rating Whiskey Dingo per Chew's request. And tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, I'll be doing Terraria, not Terraria, I'll be doing Power World, trying to catch all the Terraria monsters. So yeah, I'll try my hardest. Will I fail? Most definitely. But before I hit the raid button, I have one last thing I have to hit. Hatchet knows it, but Adurna doesn't.
Oh my gods, what?
I have a dick.
What the fuck? What the fuck?